Good evening and welcome to Follow Everton. I'm joined here with the lovely Amy,
Hello.
a sight for sore eyes. Um, how are you doing, Ames?
I'm all right. I am getting to the optimistic stage of Everton now, which is always nice. That point in the season where you have a rare amount of joy until it all
Yeah,
actually kicks in. So I'm enjoying myself. How are you?
yeah, I'm actually good. I mean, I got ripped the other day for being slightly negative after a win. I was made up that we won. I am always made up that we won. I was just putting some things into perspective. That was all. But obviously, the Blues are in a bit of form, which
We are.
we haven't seen them or heard for a while. So taking what we can get, innit?
I know I've kind of forgotten what to do with this. Like I don't know. I still don't trust them though. Like every single day. Like it was only 1-0, won it, and I was like, no, this ain't good. This, and it got to them last 10 minutes, and I was like, we're slipping here, and I was properly nervous, but they held on. So hopefully we'll
Yeah,
see more of that tonight.
I felt that they were always fully in control of that West Ham game. I really did. I think um, I think we all kind of knew that we, for some reason or another, I don't know why, but we all knew we was going to get the win. Maybe that was because we been playing better away from home, or maybe the combination of both with West Ham being away, away in midweek. So I think we was all pretty confident we was going to get a result there. And as much as the media tried to big up West Ham on the day, it was like there's another team on the pitch. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm to be honest, we looked the better team throughout
Yeah,
the
I think
game.
we did. I think recently, bar obviously the derby, which I'm counting as an anomaly, it's a derby, it's at Anfield. They never seem to really do very well at Anfield. They get a bit stressed out by it, I think. But other than that, we have seemed, like you said, to have hit this run of form now where we seem confident, we seem in control. It's like our defenders are strong, and then our attackers are getting there. Obviously, Dom's just got his 50th goal for us, which surprised me, to be fair. I didn't realise his goal tally was actually that high until it came up. I think our midfield are strong. That midfield three that we've got right now with Dakari, Garner, and Onana are a brilliant partnership. I think since we've lost Garner Gay out of it, I think we're performing better as well for it. I think Onana seems to be more coming into that kind of role that he is built for as well, which is nice to see. It's nice to see the likes of Mikolenko and Onana now performing to a better capability, probably not even the best capability yet right now as well, which is exciting. I like that. I've always backed
Hundred
both of them.
percent,
So
100%. I mean, I think most Evertonians was crying out for that partnership with James Garner in the middle of the park and Onana playing, as the defensive midfielder.
that's his best role. That's how he plays. Like he
Hundred
is brilliant.
percent. But Garner Gay's not a bad backup, is he? Let's be honest.
No, of course
You know
he's
what I
not.
mean?
But that's where I think he should be. He should stay as a backup. He's getting to the end of his career now and stuff like that as well. Like he shouldn't really be expected to start every game, I don't think. And I think
No,
the leadership and the talent is obviously still there, and that's brilliant to have in the dressing room. But in terms of on the pitch, I think Onana is our better option to be in that defensive midfielder role, to be honest.
definitely, yeah.
And I
And
think Dakari in that attacking midfielder role, he's really, really come into that. He seems to be really enjoying himself, kind of playing up there as like a supporting kind of striker and a creative midfielder instead now, which is
he still
surprising. Like
looks
I'm not going to say I was
he still
expecting it,
looks like he's running in custard though a lot of the time, doesn't he? You know what I
but
mean?
yeah,
But yeah, you're right. I mean, he is supporting the Dom like really well, and
yeah.
he's getting backwards and forwards, doing effectively what he was brought into the team for was his box to box.
Which is what we've
But
been crying out for a few years now, and I think all it's been is managers before Dyche haven't been putting these players into those roles they wanted. Like if we remember rightly, Dakari was not welcoming training. He was training on his own and stuff, wasn't he? Do you remember that picture of him sat on the ball
yeah,
and he just wasn't, for want of a better word, sorry Ryan for my language, but he wasn't asked at all because he
no,
wasn't being treated like he mattered, kind of thing. And I think now Dyche has come in and he knows his capabilities. I think that's making him shine more. It's like being at work, innit? If your manager gives you constructive criticism and compliment you on the things you're doing well, you're going to want to work for him. Whereas if your manager's constantly shouting at you all the time, telling you you're not worth it and stuff like that, then why would I want to come in and do anything?
Yeah. I think, like, the thing is, like any, any manager, any new manager going to any club should wipe the slate clean with every player. Obviously, Lampard and Decore had, whether it was a falling out or a disagreement, or
I think
he
Decore
just didn't fancy him
in the changing room, didn't he? I think he like give him what thought a bit, and Lampard didn't want to hear it at all. I think that's what the whole problem was with him.
But me myself personally, I'd be on the especially somebody of Frank Lampard's quality and his history and of how good a player he was. You can't have somebody like Decore, slating the manager
at his standard, obviously. But Lampard in the management world has what's the best word for it? No rapport, I suppose, as a manager right now. And if you look at his management statistics, he isn't a Mourinho. You can't turn around and say, "Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about." He's not an Ancelotti. He's not a.
No.
I don't want to say it. He's not a Klopp. He's not a Pep. He's not got that behind him yet. And I think the players probably saw that. I think we said that, didn't we, last season? I think we started to see him losing the dressing room and stuff like that. And that's when things start going bad on the pitch as well, doesn't it? Which seems like Dyche has a lot of respect from them all, I think, as well. I think the way they speak about him in interviews and stuff like that, they all seem to kind of, they're backing him, I think. And I think they're quite enjoying going to work for that's what it is.
You can see that they all want to play for Dyche. You know what I mean? As much as probably, he's tactically not astute as some managers. I think the players are all galvanised behind what he wants them to do.
I think he's gone in and gone, these are your strengths. This is how we're going to play. Because we was all expecting him to do a Burnley 2.0, and he's not really. There is some similarities, obviously, but he's not going 4-4-2, kind of not massively route one, I wouldn't say. I'm using my football manager knowledge here now. I'm trying to think that, aren't I? Saying route one and stuff, but he seems to have looked at them and gone, right, this is what you're good at. And I think when he realises something isn't working, he gives it a go for a little bit, like Garner on the wing and stuff like that. But he's now saying Garner is better in the midfield. Garner is in the midfield. And I think now, when he writes them names on the team sheet, that is automatically, he doesn't question it. He goes, Garner in the midfield, because that's where he's proven he's best at. And that's all you can ask for, really. He's got to figure it out.
The only thing I worry about that, Amy, is that, like, most Evertonians could have took Sean Dyche to one side and said, that's where James Garner should be playing, not on the right.
Yeah, I think it did take a while, didn't he, to kind of come to that agreement
and
himself.
That was like
the end of last season as well.
Yeah, that was the sort of the annoying thing is we all want to be football managers, but when like got thousands of Evertonians going, James Garner should be in the midfield, or we shouldn't be playing Michael Keane, and he keeps playing James Garner on the right and Michael Keane at centre half. You're thinking, like, what do you need to do as a manager to realise that you're playing these players? One's not good enough, and one, you're playing out of position. Yeah. But now he's got it, and he seems to be getting the best out of them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think all of them seem to be playing kind of probably not at the echelon that they could fully get with like the potential, like you like Svonana and stuff like that. But the young, they've got a lot of time to kind of reach that full potential. But I think right now is the best we've seen some of these players play in a long time. I think Dom's at the best he's been. Like, anyone who watches this will know that I was getting quite bit nervy about Dom. I was thinking, is he ever going to come back and be the kind of striker we want him to be and we know he can be? And with this fitness plan, he said it himself, Dyche has brought out the best in him, and look at him go now, especially having to compete against Beto. I think that's kind of give him the
100%.
Made him a bit nervy on it, and he's like, right, I've got to prove myself here now. And
not just Beto though, Chimiti as well. I know he's kind of like on the fringes, but he's also in his position, so he's under threat from two players.
Yeah.
So I mean, the squad in general now that obviously got Harrison in there, and you've got McNeil and possibly Dan Juma to come in. Dan Juma can play right or left. McNeil can play right or left, but he's obviously predominantly left-footed. But the balance is better, isn't it?
Yeah.
The balance of the whole team.
We could do with another kind of, probably another Decore, someone who can play in that role that Decore is playing in right now. We could probably do with some backup defenders. I stand by it. I would rather have kept Connor Cody for that 4.5 mil than have Michael Keane as my backup centre-back. But
100%.
Taki has brilliant fitness. He played every minute last season, didn't he? And he can do it if he needs to, I think. And obviously Brantwaite Young means he has that kind of level of fitness where you can demand that from him. The only thing that I worry about now is, heaven forbid, touch wood, one of them gets injured, or like this now, where we've got to play a midweek game, 2 weekend games. If they don't have the Dyche fitness levels or the general fitness levels they need, then we've got the likes of Godfrey and Keane having to come in then, and that's when things could get a little bit shaky. So we've obviously got, hopefully, if we don't get transfer embargoed with this whole FFP thing, we've got a January transfer window there to kind of get some backups in, but I don't think we need anything major in the first team for the first time in a fair few seasons.
No, I mean, the bench looks stronger now, doesn't it? Even though you have
two goalkeepers or kids on there.
Yeah, even though you have got Keane and Godfrey in there, you've still got the likes of Garner Gay and stuff. Even Lewis Dobbin, you've got in there, and Beto. It does look stronger than what it has done for a few seasons. So what's your thoughts on tonight then, Ames?
What we should be talking about. Sorry, tonight I think Burnley, obviously newly promoted, did brilliantly last year in the Championship. Are still a Premier League team, so I'm glad he's gone with a strong squad. There is the 2 rotations, obviously, but Ashley Young, obviously, is a bit of a liability. We know that. Hopefully, this red card on the weekend has stressed him out a bit. We've sorted out the set piece issue, so he's not lobbing balls at keepers from corners now. So that was one of my big issues I had with him. But so long as he can do what he is there to do, and our defenders, like our midfielders, like Onana, can keep hold of like some of the defensive slack that may come with Ashley Young, then that should be okay, hopefully. And then I'm thinking Dan Juma, no issues with him being on there, to be honest. I think we need to be careful. I think we oversimplified the other 2 newly promoted teams. We're drawing against Sheffield away, obviously, 2 goals. We did brilliantly that game, I think, but that did unnerve me a little bit because, the Sheffield, the newly promoted, the rock bottom of the league, we were matched by them that day. I think Luton beating us at home, that's something that should worry us tonight as well. Don't oversimplify it. Treat them as if you would treat the likes of City, United. Treat them as if you treat your Brentfords and stuff like that, and treat it like it will be a difficult game. Don't oversimplify it, and I think we're pretty fine. I am confident though.
Any sort of any team that's in the Premier League you're coming up against, whether it's in the league or it's in the cup, you've got to take seriously. Vincent Kompany proved that he's a decent enough manager.
Yeah.
He just hasn't kick-started in the league yet. You know what I mean? They absolutely romped the Championship last season.
He did.
And they haven't really kick-started this season. But Everton, this is the first time Everton and Burnley have met in the League Cup. First time ever.
Wow.
Never met in the League Cup. They've played each other 120 times. Everton have got a knock on them of winning 58 times to Burnley's 32 and 30 draws. So yeah, Dyche. I think Dyche is going to feel a bit sort of like, I don't know, a bit like sentimental or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. But he shouldn't be.
It's hard, isn't it, to go into that dressing room and say, absolutely leather these, because he loves them. Like, you don't want to see the team that you love get beat either. It's about being an ultimate professional at the end of the day, isn't it? But I don't think he's going to be giving the team talks that he gives for other teams at all. I think it's going to be a bit more. It's probably a bit sad for him, to be honest. He loved that club, didn't he? And
yeah,
it's a shame, but He's our
But
manager.
ultimately,
So,
it's a cup game. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like he's taking 3 points off them, even though we won 6 points off them this
yeah,
season when we come to meet them in the league. But ultimately, it's a cup. Comes down to a cup game, so it's not. It's
exactly.
not detrimental to their position in the league.
How do
So
you
you can
feel
just go
about
at
it?
it. But for the game,
Yeah, you're
I,
confident.
yeah, I'm 100% always. You know what? I'm always confident when it comes to Everton, and every Evertonian is confident until it comes to the
Until
result.
it comes, yeah. Until it comes to that whistle going.
But
I
yeah, I
think
think I think Everton's gonna win 3-0 tonight.
I said two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got a solid chance, and I think with this run of form we've got, we're confident, and I think we've been doing well in the cup so far, to be honest. And right now, you're looking at them other games that are being played, and there's a few difficult teams in there, obviously, that like we will have to come up against if and when we do win this game. But there's a high chance that we could go quite far this year. And I'm not going to start dropping the W word around and saying book your tickets or anything like that. But like, imagine, and that's it. That's the daring to dream, and that's what's getting me right now. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, get lucky, do what we're supposed to do, and that's it. We go Wembley, we win it, we go Europe, and that's where my brain is right now. I'm 10 steps ahead, and I'm thinking, Conference League, let's have it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
you are getting a bit ahead of yourself there, but
When was the last
uh,
time I was excited about Everton like this, where I sat here with
uh,
you and I was like, this is it? And I think I'm confident for us tonight anyway. I'm excited about this cup run that we're on right now. So that's
well,
nice.
I'm not going to shatter your dreams, James. You know what I mean? I'm all for the Europe, but we take
Imagine
it
me
one
and you in
step at a
Europe,
time.
Wes. Get me on your shoulders. We'll be in Europe shouting at Italians or something. Probably not the Italians, actually. Don't let me start with the Italians.
I
But
think
someone nicer.
some of the stuff that I got up to in Europe, I'm not sure I can go back, Amy. You know what I mean?
If my dad's seeing this now, he's like, that was a passport that's getting burnt.
But yeah, so your predictions 2-0, Ames. You're happy with the team.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
See,
I'm devastated.
I think
Ashley
for me
Young,
as
I am
well,
looking at you. That's my problem. But other than that,
I, Ashley Young doesn't really bother me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It doesn't really bother me because if Dyche sees sense, he's going to drop him for the league games anyway,
yeah.
and he might only play him in the cup games. You know what I mean? So that him being in there doesn't bother me. I'm glad that he's kept Tarkovsky and Branthwaite there.
Yeah, love that
Because,
little partnership between them. It's like dad and lad. It's brilliant. It's
yeah,
like Taki is like, well, he's the captain and he's the leader, and Branthwaite is going to learn a lot from him because he's already brilliant. I reckon Taki's learning stuff off Branthwaite, to be honest. Like
100%.
he's amazing.
Yeah,
Don't
he,
see any problem with the lad. Love him to pieces. Absolutely brilliant footballer.
yeah. I mean, I think that when we all got excited about John Stones when he came, and I think this kid's going to be better than him.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
Hopefully
know what
we
I
can
mean?
hold on to him for a little bit longer, just a tiny bit. I think he's going
I'm,
in the summer, to be honest, and I think I
I'm
will
not
do a
venturing
full
into
video of
them.
me crying.
I'm
But
not venturing into them murky waters again, Ames. After I mentioned it the other day, got down the banks.
that's that. But honestly, you'll see videos of me literally sobbing outside of Finch Farm when he's driving out for the last time. But like, he's just, I can't believe we've got him. Like, I feel lucky. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you look at your missus and you think, oh, how did I manage to pull you? Like, you're wonderful when she makes you a good tea and that. Like, oh, like when Luke's dead nice to me, and I think, oh, how lucky am I?
I'm not
That's
sure.
how I feel about Brantwaite.
I'm not sure I've ever had that feeling.
She's definitely not had it with you.
That's why she's in Wales.
Yeah. But Everton's
But
playing 3 times in 7 days. No way am I staying there with him. That's that.
do you imagine if we get 3 wins? I mean, Brighton's up next,
Don't.
and you're like, might it the dizzy heights of like 12th or something?
Don't. I think I'd pass out being that high up. I don't know what we'd do.
We'd all get nosebleeds.
You know, they was talking about it in work the other day, and they was like, "Oh, why are you so confident? You're 15th," and I was like, I'm sorry, that's a cushy 15th. That's lovely. I was like, I am very happy to be sat safe in 15th. And they were like,
Yeah.
what? And I was like, don't. None of yous understand. They're all City fans, United fans, and
Oh,
them
well.
fans. So none of them get it.
You know
They don't
what,
know
though,
what
Ames?
they're doing.
I'd rather be an Everton fan at the minute than a United fan.
Yeah, same. You must be aggy about that. You were when I was a kid. That's why I hate them. They were dominating everything. Sick of seeing them, and now they're
The
just
shite.
them and City have just like swapped, haven't they, over the past few years? I bet Fergie is fuming every night he sees them results. Not in my lifetime. He should never have said that. That's him jinxing it, that idiot. But yeah,
We haven't really got into the comments, so there's only me on the comments, isn't he? That's why.
yeah, I know.
Too busy chatting wham.
They should never let us do this together.
Where are we?
Oh yeah, Beto. It must be a bit frustrated, but honestly, with DCL being on that run of form, do you really want to cut it? But I do think Beto's going to get a good half hour tonight, to be honest. 20 minutes with Dyche's substitution times, let's be honest.
Yeah, you can't. The run that Calvert-Lewin's on in the minute, you run the risk of him picking up an injury, but you can't drop him. You know what I mean?
It's like going at, not that I drive, but I imagine it's like going at 90 and slamming the brakes on straight away. Something's going to... Shut up, Grid. Is that because I've got my eyelashes on?
Because we haven't seen you for a while.
You slam it on, and what if he never picks up this form again? Like, you're better off just letting him keep going, but I don't think he'll play the full game, to be honest, tonight, Calvert-Lewin.
No. I want to see Beto. I want to see Beto because I think he has been a touch unlucky, like with the form that Calvert-Lewin's been in. And I think he needs to score, and then he'll get that monkey off his back, and then he might sort of like kick on from there, because we all want him to do well. I don't think there's ever been a player that's come to Everton that you think, I don't want them to do well, but he's one of them ones we really want him to do well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I have high hopes for him. Like, I just want to. He looks like he's unfinished, yeah, fair enough. He's not like world beating or anything like that, but you can see there's a little bit of something there with the passion. He loves the Blues, loves us.
But he's got the physicality as well.
Yeah, he can.
He's a big lad.
Brilliant, and I do want to see that for him, to be honest. I think
he's working in KFC like 4 years ago or something.
Like, it's the drive as well. Like, to have that drive to do that for yourself, that will translate onto the football pitch, and he will. He's one of those players, where we always say we just want him to play for the badge, die for the shirt. I think he is. He'll be like a Richarlison. He'll want to do it for us, and he will eventually, I think. I think if you partner him and Dom together at some point, there's going to be fireworks, and good fireworks, and I'm excited to see that eventually. But we know what Dyche is like. He will not put someone in there if they're not ready yet, and that's probably what it is.
Yeah, they say. I thought that, like, if it had been anybody else other than the Premier League team, he probably would have got a start, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's just about, like, coaching him and kind of getting him ready to go in there and do what he's capable of. But I agree with this. I can't believe people are sat there saying that he's no good right now. We see snippets of him every game, and it's rare we see them snippets right now. But, like, he can do it. I've watched him do it. Like, I've seen him do it for Udinese and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's the same as playing for Everton, obviously.
No.
But there's a glimmer in there. And if we stand there and we support that and we say, give him the chance, like we've given Calvert-Lewin the chance over the past few years, look at what's happening with DCL now. Look at what's happening with Onana. Look at what's happening with Mykolenko when they've just been given that chance to grow. And that's all he needs. He just needs the chance to grow. And he does need more starts to be able to do that, obviously. But there's got to come a point where who do you take out of that Premier League starting 11 to put him up top with Calvert-Lewin because he can't play anywhere else? Do you drop Decore, who's doing brilliantly? Do you take the wingers out? Like, that's just the issue right now, and it's how to fit him in, unfortunately.
Yeah, the thing is with Beto is, like, you could probably count on one hand how many foreign players have come into the Premier League and just like been an
Like
instant success.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to give them time to sort of bed in, get used to the physicality, get used to the speed of the game. But ultimately, like you say, if you've got a striker that's in form ahead of you, you've got to be doing something special on the training pitch to sort of displace him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like, I think John just said it in the comments that if Pep Guardiola gives players time, why are we acting like we can't do that? Like, you've just got to, it's a big league. It is the best league in the world. Like, it's the most competitive league, at least. It's one of the maddest leagues in the world. Like, it really just depends on the form you're in and how you're playing and stuff like that. But you could have a really brilliant season. Like, look at Leicester. They won it in 2015. Look at them now. I mean, they are doing brilliant in the Championship, obviously, but relegated, not even in 10 years. Like, it's a mad little league. And I think forcing him into it and him not doing as well as some other players, especially the players he's competing against in DCL, that'll knock his confidence. And we've seen what players with not confidence do, again, in DCL. You do not want to play with not confidence because we are a hard crowd to play in front of.
Oh yeah, massively.
Like, you can't throw someone in there to get booed. And one of the things I do it, I'm guilty of it. They misplace a pass, they don't do the turn. 30,000 people sat in front of you going, oh, fucking, oh, and you hear us all do it at the same time. You have to build up to that, I suppose. And when he's not confident and he's only just come, you can't throw him into the bear pit and expect him to be brilliant. He needs to be able to be good enough to go, that was a pretty good game for me, that I'm very proud of myself, and then kind of keep working on it. And that's all we're doing with him in it. And I think Dyche
his chance will come, won't it? His chance will come at some point. And like you say, he might not be scoring the goals, but it's not through lack of trying.
Yeah.
And, you know, he is putting himself about a bit there. You look at the Derby game, you know, he had a chance to run clean through until he was wiped out by Canate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he could have been one-on-one with Van Dijk there.
Yeah.
Apart from that.
With his physicality and that, like, was it Doncaster, that header? And I know it's Doncaster, but can you remember how awful that first half was?
Yeah.
We were 1-0 down at half time against Doncaster, and Beto was the one who turned that around. So if he can do that right now against really low League Two opposition, keep giving him the training and the coaching and the fitness and all the other stuff he's got to do behind the scenes, then he's probably at League One Championship standard. You then give him a couple of runs through, little half hours here and there, 45 minutes, give him a start against a team that we're probably more likely to beat, like a Luton or something. Not that we did beat them, but, you know, someone we might be able to beat. Give him a start. Bring Calvert-Lewin on eventually if it's not going too well, but keep giving him those chances and it's going to happen eventually, but you can't force it. You force it, you break them. And that's what I think we've learned that over the past 10 years, 15 years.
100%. I agree with what you're saying, Amy. It's like you say, you want him to do well, but not at the detriment of him getting a load of grief off the fans because he's not scoring goals. Yeah. But anyway, I think me and Robbie are going to be doing the post match because Amy's got to get her head down since she's up early for work in the morning.
I don't do early mornings either. Awful. I'm hoping that this match is interesting enough to the point where I won't be a kip on the couch halfway through. So I'm going to watch it downstairs on purpose so I can get all the way through it. But what's your prediction? 3-0?
I'm going 3-0. I'm going to say DCL with a couple and Decore.
I'm saying 2-0. DCL's got to keep going. He's got a taste for it now, and he's like a lion. He's got a taste for them goals. And Decore or another James Garner screamer. I am crying out for one of those. I love him. I love it when he does things like that. So if it's not a Garner screamer, it's a Garner assist. I'm calling it now.
We'll have that all day. But please like and subscribe, all you viewers. and join me and Robbie and for the post-match after the game, after the win by the Blues.
I will catch you all at some point soon.
I'm sure Amy will be back on in the near future.
Yeah, but good night, God bless, up the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.